CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome once again to Pennzoil at the Half, everyone. Along with Clark Kellogg, I'm Greg Gumbel. Our halftime score, the Stanford Cardinal with a 40-26 lead over Alcorn State. This was a Final Four team a year ago. They're acting like they want to get back.
Doing that work down in the paint. Mark Madsen, 16 points, 8 rebounds. They can't contain him down low.
All right, let's fill you in on what else has happened so far today, and we'll begin at Key Arena in Seattle, where the 10th seed Bulldogs of Gonzaga knocked off Bring You. Well, starting at 7:30, our big game. 4th seed Ohio State against the Racers of Murray State, a number 13 seed. Other action, Samford St. John's, New Mexico against Missouri, and number 11 seed Penn takes on the Florida Gators out west in Seattle. In the nightcap of our first round coverage, 11th seed George Washington meets the Indiana Hoosiers, seeded 6th. Our other action, Detroit against UCLA from Indianapolis, Texas San Antonio against top seed UConn out in Denver, and Weber State takes on North Carolina in Seattle. That'll do it for now. We'll get you back to second half action. Alcorn State and the Stanford Cardinal, with Cardinals leading it by a score of 40-26. Chris Weems to Mark Madsen combo working to perfection so far today.
Pennzoil at the Half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Stanford began the game 9 of 12. John Sunvold off the field. Now they're 10 of their last 32.
Yeah, only 4 of 12 this second half. They've spent more time turning the ball over than shot attempting.
Michael McDonald will bring it up. Pounded by Harris. Mosley outside. Fleming is on him.
Again, the active hands by Alcorn State defensively bothering this Cardinal team.
Madsen inside, plowing his way in. And they call an offensive foul on Madsen.
Well, you cannot simply back straight in and keep going. And there's a little elbow to the side. Good call.
Well, believe it or not, Alcorn State can tie the game on this possession. Carl Jones picked up by Mosley. Swanner, the 300-pounder on top. Here's Stiff, picked up by McDonald.
Find Marcus Fleming.
Here comes Harris and lays on him. Back to Stiff. Shot clock is approaching 10. Slaughter doubled. Stiff, 8 to shoot on the run. Rebounded by Young.
And had a pretty good look. Down the middle of the lane, he had a look that he probably wanted.
Lee to McDonald. Outside to Mosley. Quickly there, closing the door, Carl Jones.
Those are the shots you have to make, Kevin.
Here's Young, draped with Alcorn State defenders. Wide open, McDonald for 3. Tapped and picked up, they've got numbers. It's Harris to Jones inside. Tapped back up and in. 1-point game. Stiff hits the 2.
And great decision by Harris on the break to choose Jones because he's the bigger the player, should have been able to finish. But 2 Cardinals did not make the play.
Now this crowd is roaring. Mosley on Jones, the fake, the drive, and the foul. It's on Alcorn State. Calm-looking Mike Montgomery. The foul is on Jones. That's number 1 on him. An 11-3 run over the last 5.5 minutes for the Braves.
Starts to feel a little bit like a nightmare over there on that Stanford bench. A bad dream. They're trying to wake up and get this thing going again.
Mosley from Las Cruces, New Mexico, hits the first free throw. Player of the year in the state of New Mexico. Grew up in a single-parent family. And his mom had not seen him play major college basketball until this year.
Solid outside shooter, though, has struggled last 4 ball games. And really this ball game, though he hit the big 3 when they needed it. Only 1 of 5 from the field.
Mosley, a 77% free throw shooter. Drains a couple, giving the Cardinal a 3-point lead with 7:07 to play. Slaughter goes out. And when he rumbles, baby, you can feel it all the way over here. And Edric Wheaton will come in. And Stiff playing on the edge right now. The guy with the ball, 4 fouls.
Alcorn State has not had a hard time getting good looks at the basket.
Marcus Fleming slithers inside. Mosley comes up with a hard-earned rebound. Looking for Madsen. Broken up by Stiff.
And not a good pass. It wasn't available.
A 3 will tie. And Harris outside. Stiff for the tie. Rebound inside. The long arms of Edric Wheaton reel it in. It's a 1-point game again.
More energy in the purple uniforms right now. They're going the offensive boards. They have the energy from the crowd.
Foul away from the ball, down low, on the block. Edric Wheaton was tangled up in the lane. But they give it on Cameron, who is down there doubling.
Well, the missed shot from the corner, that would have tied. But again, the activity around the glass. Edric Wheaton this time, and the putback, the lefty.
Young hits the free throw, and he is a beauty for a tall guy. 83% from the stripe. In Stanford now, John Sunvold is 10 of 12 from the line.
Well, soft touch for the big guy.
It's the second free throw. Lead expands to 3. Wheaton for 3. Looking at a possible tie. Out of bounds it goes, and the Cardinal will get it. 3-point shooting. Alcorn State 5 of 22. Stanford 4 of 13.
And not surprising, Wheaton at 6'8" takes Young away from the basket. He shot over 100 threes this year, shoots about 36%, so that is not surprising for him to launch that shot.
Mosley spotted out of bounds by Marcus Fleming, who's playing tennis. Fleming will leave, and they bring back in Carl Jones. Well, beginning March 30th, Craig Kilborn brings his unique comedy style to CBS Late Night. That premieres March 30th. After David Letterman. Lee. Young down low, tangled up, can't get through. And there's a travel on Weems.
Well, you wonder when Peter Sauer comes back in the lineup. He's had 3 personal fouls, has sat out for quite a bit. Sitting on the bench, waiting patiently his turn, or probably impatiently.
11 points, 5 rebounds for Sauer. 3-point game, 5.5 left. Harris to Wheaton to Stiff, maneuvering outside for the tie. Wheaton got a couple chances, but they can't get it.
Yeah, 2 looks both for Wheaton, and good looks.
Arthur Lee, quick as a blur, Weems for 3. Out for inside, a foul called. As 6'8" Edric Wheaton was sandwiched between 2 Cardinal player inside the lane. And it resulted in a Stanford foul.
Well, take a look as Madsen tries to give himself some space to time where that rebound's coming off.
We're closing in on 5 minutes left in the second half. Number 2 seed Stanford against 15th seeded Alcorn State. And look at the turnovers that have killed the Cardinal in the second half.
Well, 2 things. Sloppy play, but also Alcorn State has been better defensively with their activity of their hand.
Stiff finds Jones. Picked up by Madsen. Outside for the tie! Terrence Cameron. We are tied at 53. Mosley at the other end. Weems is picked up by Harris. Young to Madsen inside. Wipe it away. A foul called on Alcorn State inside.
I can't believe they called a foul on the floor. I thought it might have been Stiff on the reach-in, and so did Stiff. High pass to Young, high-low, terrific touch pass. It did get Stiff. That's his 5th personal foul. I still thought he was going up. Look where the foul is. They caught it. It looked like a good bucket. Changes things now for Alcorn State, losing their floor general.
Stiff had 5 points. The lone starter as he brings his team together. He has time to do this now. There's a 20-second allotment for him to go ahead and do this. And now they'll bring in his backup, Tremaine Chambers. But Stiff, the lone starter in double figures, the scoring leader, the floor leader, and the emotional leader of this team.
Well, the emotional. Didn't get his shooting stroke going. Only 2 of 11 for the day. The thing is, he's caused his team to get back into defensively, the active hands. That's why he's probably picked up so many fouls and now fouled out.
Mark Madsen.
And now Chambers has to take over.
And that's tough.
And run the show.
Mark Madsen hitting his first, a 56% free throw shooter. The weakest part of his game. That one trickles in. They'll bring in Sauer. And Stanford by 2. Young will leave. So Stanford downsizes just a bit.
And Sauer, though, brings more activity on the glass than Young does. Defensively and going after rebound.
This is a small game now. Cameron for Jones. Posting in on Sauer. What a shot! We are tied again at 55.
Well, good hoop. Simply back to the basket, fadeaway jump shot.
Lee to Weems. Picked up by Harris. Inside driving, floating, and flashing it for 2. Pretty play.
Well, mano y mano, they are going at each other now. Neither team doing a good job defensively at stopping any penetration.
Harris and Weems on top. Screen by Jones. That opens up Harris to the rack. Rebounded by Sauer. Out of traffic and fouled on the play. Jones picks up number 2.
Now that's the thing about Sauer rebound. He's strong, he's quick off his feet. Goes to the ball when he was in the first half. He was the one that really jump-started the Cardinals right off the tip.
What a terrific game. Our second here from Seattle today.
And both games very similar. Big leads. Earlier this afternoon, Gonzaga built a 21-point lead and Minnesota came storming back. And this one was all Stanford the first half. And Alcorn State made some adjustments at halftime. They tightened up defensively. They've been much more aggressive. And you could see their confidence growing as this lead dwindled down.
Chad Slaughter lumbers in the game. Sauer, a 70% free throw shooter, hits a couple free throws. What a game from Seattle. A 15th seed within 3 points of a 2 seed. Welcome, folks, to the NCAA tournament. Saturday on CBS, the LAPD's dream team hits the road to expose the mob. And Samoan Arsenio could get caught in the crunch. And all new martial law Saturday on America's Address, CBS. With Mike Harris, John Sunvold, this is Kevin Harlan, the West Region. First round, 15th seed Alcorn State, down by 3 to 2nd seed Stanford. What a game.
And Alcorn State offensively has had great movements. They've set great screens. Have not shot the ball exceptionally well. The thing is, Stanford is having a hard time staying with them.
Nice spinning jump shot inside, but will not drop for Cameron. Here comes Stanford. They've been relying on Madsen early on, but he's only had 1 field goal attempt the last 19 minutes. 19 minutes.
It's amazing. I'm still shocked. Game is almost over this second half. They now have 15 field goal attempts and 15 turnovers.
Lee was short. Under 3 to play.
Well, that ball had to be blocked. Most shooters, and as good as Arthur Lee is shooting, is not going to shoot the ball 5 feet short from the outside.
Eddie Sutton in Oklahoma State with a nice win today. Gonzaga beat Minnesota, although depleted by academic problems, 75-63. Creighton in the upset over Louisville, 62-58. Here, 58-55, Stanford. And an illegal screen was set on the play by Alcorn State. And I think Edric Wheaton was caught on the illegal screen for Davy Whitney's Braves.
Kevin, you get to the last 5 minutes of any ball game, but in NCAA tournament of play, it's a possession game, and each one is important. Cameron missed a short jump shot, and now Wheaton makes the foul. Each possession is so important.
Gonzaga today beat Minnesota, a program that was rocked by problems amid allegations of academic improprieties. The University of Minnesota earlier today made ineligible 4 players for the game, including 2 starters. In the backup center to their freshman starter had twisted an ankle. That game was close, and this game has been just as good.
Decisions you make determine the outcast at this stage, and with Stiff on the bench fouling out, someone has to take control now for Alcorn State.
Maybe it's Marcus Fleming, the freshman, who's been great in the second half.
And if they can get him the ball in the right positions, he's fine.
Chambers hounded. A move on Madsen. Look at the spinning Fleming contorting his body, but it won't go. Rebound by Mosley.
Anytime you take it into paint against this Cardinal team, you're going to have a lot of bodies banging you.
Lee in a screen by Sauer. Mosley has it, picked up by Wheat. Under 2 to play. Madsen inside. Whack! And he hits it. What a play by Mark Madsen.
Kevin, better ball movement, better body movement offensively. A lot more pace to their cuts that time in possession. And Peter Sauer cleared out the backside. He ran up top, the lob pass. Now the little push and the flip up. Big play by Mad Dog.
Have to contend, though, with his 56% from the free throw line. 7-point Stanford lead. Madsen, 7 of 7 from the free throw strike.
So much for 50%.
A happy mom and dad. Or maybe tense, on edge.
I would say
be
tense.
A better word to use. Coming up tonight for this audience, you'll see 11-seed Pennsylvania against 6-seed Florida, and before that, 13-seed Murray State against 4th-seed Ohio State. What a shot put in there by Brian Adams. Fresh off the bench, and a junior from Macomb, Mississippi. Hasn't played until right now.
And here's the key. Stanford finally gets it to Arthur Lee's hand, and then everything settles down. But until it got there, a little helter-skelter.
He and Harris with the theft, and then he knocked it out of bounds. Woo! So close.
Close, wasn't it?
So close.
Thought he had one. 16 on the shot clock. If it runs down, you'll see Arthur Lee. They'll run a high screen and roll for it.
Madsen gets it because Harris, the guy defending him, went down. Here comes Lee. Shot clock approaching 10. Through traffic and foul. 1:07 to play. For Davey Whitney, the feel-good story of the tournament, 69 years of age, resurrecting a program that he at one time built up and then left and was brought back. And what could be his final game, maybe seeing a possible upset slipping through his fingers.
I love what he told his players before they left Mississippi. Pack enough, we may be going to Phoenix. Show some confidence in your players and your ball club. His calming effect on the sideline in this ball game. This game looked to be over a long time ago.
Lee hits it. They got the automatic bid, did the Braves, by winning the Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament, the SWAC tournament. Second free throw is in by Lee. Stanford from the free throw line, and this has been huge, 19 of 22. And Wallace Harris will call and get a timeout. A game like this, you got to cover your head. Against a 2-seed and a Final Four participant from a season ago, Stanford. Maybe now the Cardinal have settled down and can advance to round 2, leading 65-57. Stanford, the 2-seed, on top of 15-seed Alcorn State, 65-57. And if you're the leader and the star of the team, like Ruben Stiff, it is hard to hide your emotion, especially when you want to be out there so desperately at crunch time.
And when he fouled out, about 3 minutes left, Alcorn State has had a hard time getting into things offensively.
Stanford on a 10-2 run over the last 3 minutes since Stiff left. Cameron. He was looking for Harris, and it was broken up adroitly by Lee. 18 seconds to shoot, 50 seconds to play.
Solid defense by the men in white. Stanford Cardinals not allowing anything easy to the basket.
Fleming, a twist and a turn and a rejection inside. Outside Harris, that is defended. And the thing that has carried Stanford throughout the season, the one thing that game in and game out they could rely on, their defense comes up big when they need it the most late in the game.
Stepped up at the right time. Every possession the last 4 or 5 times has been a tough chore for Alcorn State. We talked about the 2 or 3 minute mark. Every opportunity you have to convert. Can't make mistakes, have to make the shots you're taking.
Those expressions tell the story for Alcorn State. They came so close time late in this game.
And those faces are one of survive and move on.
Survive and move on.
As Jim Valvano used to say.
This will be a survival for Stanford.
No doubt.
They were threatened.
As well played and as confident as it was the first 15 minutes of the ball game. Second half has not been very pretty. Mike Montgomery will have to go to work and get some confidence back for a couple players.
Short shot by Donald Fleming, the brother of Marcus Fleming. Racing the other way and steaming is Weaves. He is calling a timeout on that baseline. 20-second timeout. Alcorn State, this is the 5th appearance in the NCAA tournament. Their last appearance was some 15 years ago in Lincoln, Nebraska, losing to Kansas, coached then by Larry Brown by 1 point. Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Marcus Fleming from Alcorn State, the talented freshman and a kid you're going to hear a lot of in years to come. And Mark Madsen from Stanford. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund to reward our outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. Foul called. Fleming again.
Well, sets up for a great matchup Saturday. Gonzaga, a team that likes to push it, spread the floor, shoot the ball in. Outstanding shooters, can play the game. They're tall enough inside, not very many wide bodies, but tall enough to rebound. And they will be a tough opponent for this Stanford team. They like to keep it closer to the chest, keep it in a half-court game. 2 different types of teams.
Lee hits it. Gonzaga won earlier today over Big Ten Minnesota. 75-63 over the depleted Gophers. There goes Marcus Fleming. One of our 2 Chevy players of the game with a wonderful second half performance. Lee again.
Big upside to his career, Kevin. Only a freshman.
Stanford has hit their last 10 free throws. There's a 3 thrown up by Harris. No good. This is tapped by Sauer. In the final seconds of the game. Survive and advance. And number 2 seed Stanford survives and advances. A 14-2 run by Stanford over the last 4 minutes. Mike Montgomery will go to round 2. 69-57. The Braves of Alcorn State lose to the Stanford Cardinals. So our first bracket is set. Gonzaga will take on Stanford. So now for John Sunvold and Mike Harris, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Key Arena, where Stanford has defeated Alcorn State 69-57. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.